Good evening. My name is Shelly Powers, and most of you will know me because of my book, Elvis Remembered. But tonight, I am going to be talking to a good friend of mine who I've known for many years, and that is the brilliant ROB GARRETT. Hi, Rob. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
That's
Brilliant.
okay.
Brilliant.
Now, most of you that know Rob will know that he is the king of diamonds. Rob is the #1 Neil Diamond tribute artist in the world, I'll have you know.
Thank you.
So Rob, I've known you for a long time, and we have quite a few things in common, and one of them is we both love Elvis.
We do.
Okay. So, in fact, that's how we met.
Correct.
How we became friends. It was through our mutual friend, Johnny Fortuno, who was playing at the Cannery at the time.
I remember.
Yes.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah. Sorry, Johnny, not an impersonator. But yeah, so that's how we met. But I just want to ask you, first of all, can I just talk to you about some of the similarities between you and the brilliant Neil Diamond? I've got so many questions to ask you, but let's go there first, because there are some. I know you were both from Brooklyn, so tell me a little bit more about that.
Right. I was born in Brooklyn, but if I want to come clean, I lived in Brooklyn probably for the first 2 months of my life. Then my parents moved us to Queens, which is right next door. You know, New York City. It's still New York City.
Isn't Queens a bit rough?
Both of them have their sections that are rough.
Yeah, I heard that.
But I guess out of the 5 boroughs, if you had to pick one, the Bronx would be the roughest. But again, Queens and Brooklyn, they're connected, and they're two big boroughs, the 2 biggest boroughs that make up New York City.
Okay.
So Brooklyn, I was born in Brooklyn. Both my parents were from Brooklyn, but Neil Diamond lived in Brooklyn until his 20s before he moved. And he went to L.A. Well, he moved all over the place, and finally ended up in Los Angeles, obviously where he became a superstar. But my childhood was in Queens.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
Right.
So what other similarities are there?
Well, let's see. Other than that, we're both Jewish,
Okay.
And we're both musicians, and we both moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, but at different times of our lives. Again, my parents didn't move with me until 74. Okay. So I was a lot younger than moving cross country than he was.
Okay, so it's kind of amazing, really, that there are these similarities, and you look a lot like Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
okay.
I've heard that's
especially when you're on stage, from like up close, but especially when you're on stage and you're singing, you sound really like him, and you do just a fantastic show. But can I just ask you? So let's get back to Elvis, because which one came first? Was it Elvis or Neil Diamond?
Oh, definitely Elvis came first. I mean, Elvis was someone that like most people from my generation grew up watching movies.
Right,
movies.
Me too, yeah.
You know, I was thinking that there's this really cool guy. You know, when I'm a kid, this cool guy, good-looking guy, and look at him. He looks great. He sings beautifully. He always gets the girl. You know, and he usually gets to win in the fight when he's fighting a guy. So
True, yeah.
So and then not even knowing, watching his movies, that he was the king of rock and roll. He was just a guy in movies that was a really cool, with a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't until I think I saw the '68 special for my very first time that I realized that this guy's more than just a guy.
He's something special.
In the movies, definitely something special. So
Yeah.
I was a weird kid because I would actually run to the library or grab the encyclopedia in my house, and I'm still the same way, and research everything. Like, we are really meticulous.
Yeah, you're very inquisitive.
And wanting knowledge. So, yeah, but Elvis, here's your answer. If anyone asks me, and I still do, who more than anyone, or who influenced you to want to become an entertainer, not a tribute artist, just an entertainer. Because remember, for 15 years before I was a tribute artist, I had my own band. I got to be me, is what I'm saying to you. Just it was Rob.
So Elvis was basically, he was the main influence that got you interested in wanting to be a performer and start a band and what have you.
Elvis and the Beatles.
Elvis and the Beatles.
Beatles, Beatles influenced me to want to be a musician, so I learned guitar. Elvis influenced me to want to be a performer.
Okay.
And then Neil Diamond, they both left us in different ways, the Beatles and Elvis. And I was already a Neil Diamond fan, so Neil Diamond kind of filled that void. I already was a fan of the man, but Neil Diamond was a combination of both of them, if you think about it. Neil Diamond was a songwriter, a composer, brilliant songwriter, composer, I'm sure you'll agree.
Absolutely.
And he was this charismatic, good-looking, performer. So if you think about it, he covered the spectrum of both of those. My first two musical influences, which were Elvis and the Beatles.
Okay, so you actually went to see Elvis, his show, didn't you? I know it seems like I'm talking about Elvis a lot, but there is a reason why. And because I love Elvis as well, so we are going to talk about him for a minute. But you went to see Elvis's show. How many shows did you go? And how old were you when you first saw Elvis?
I was a kid, all right? So
okay.
We're going to say that I was a kid, and that also changed my life, by the way, seeing him for the first time, which happened to be June 10th of 1972. Evening show at Madison Square Garden, same one they made the album from, and that did it for me. After seeing, I mean, I'm sure everybody watched Elvis on TV, whether it was a TV special or a movie, and said, "Oh, I wish I could. I want to do that."
Yeah, so, everybody wants to be.
Pretty
sure.
So
to be like Elvis, exactly. John Lennon, even. Yeah.
Absolutely good. Yeah. Very good example.
So, and you were with your mom when you went to see Elvis for the first time, correct?
I was with my mom when I saw Neil Diamond the first time.
Oh, yeah. But your mom didn't go see Elvis. It was.
She did. She went with me. It gets a little bit more complicated. I went with a childhood friend to see Elvis in Madison Square Garden. My friend was actually a vendor there, so he got to see Elvis before me. He's working though, selling popcorn and whatever drinks, and so he saw the night before me.
So he got you in. Yeah.
But no, he didn't. He knew I was going the next day, but he went with me.
Okay.
And then I didn't have tickets for the next show. The next day was Elvis's fourth show, the last one. I didn't have tickets, but I wanted to go, so I went. We took the train. I took a different friend on the train because I couldn't drive. I wasn't old enough to drive, and we got on the subway. We got on the subway, and we bought tickets from a scalper. So I got to see the second, which was a matinee.
I'm so jealous.
And then so that same summer, I must have been a very influential kid because I talked my mom and my grandmother. My grandmother was the money lady, into taking me. They saw I was so enamored and crazy after seeing Elvis at the Garden that I talked them into taking me to Vegas. We hadn't lived here yet.
Wow!
And we didn't know we were going to live here. That's what's crazy.
Okay.
So that same saw Elvis at the Garden in June. But August of the same year, I talked my mom and my grandmother into going to Vegas. So my mom and grandmother took me, and we saw Elvis in Vegas in '72. And I went on to see him 23 times. That's
23 times.
18 in Vegas and 5 in New York.
Wow.
I think that's what you wanted to know.
It is. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. So, okay, so let's get back to you. You formed a band. Okay, so you were influenced by the Beatles, by Elvis. So when did Neil Diamond start influence you? When did you find out about Neil Diamond? Was it the same time as you were?
Roughly. I couldn't really tell you the first time, like I saw my first Elvis movie. It was probably Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because I only remember that because I had this huge crush, like everybody, on Anna Margaret. And and I realized, like, this guy looks as pretty as she does, you know. Neil Diamond, right around the same time.
Okay.
But Neil Diamond was basically coming into prominence in the late '60s, early.
Yeah, because for me, my dad basically, he raised us on Elvis and my mum, and I have to be honest, I hadn't even heard Neil Diamond. Now,
and he's more your.
Well, you're not that much older than me.
He's more, okay. Let me say, he's more.
We're like this. We're the same age.
But
all right, you might be a bit older.
He's more both of our eras than Elvis is, if you think about it. Neil Diamond started 10 years after Elvis, right? So
okay.
So in the '50s, you weren't listening to Elvis.
I wasn't even born in the '50s.
All right.
I was born.
We're going to fact check that one. All right. Okay.
No, I wasn't born in the '50s, actually.
I know you were.
'60s.
Okay.
But anyway, so it was around. You loved Neil Diamond. Mm-hmm. What was it that?
At first, I liked Neil Diamond.
You liked
but same thing with
Neil
Elvis.
Diamond.
At first, I liked Elvis too. So the Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I grew to love them.
You grew to love them.
Right.
Whereas I loved Elvis straight away, and I loved the Beatles straight away.
Right.
Yeah, I always loved John Lennon, and Paul McCartney, and he's still cute, isn't he, Paul McCartney?
For an old guy, yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's lovely. But so would you say that Neil Diamond was the one that influenced you the most? I mean, at what point? Because let's talk about you starting your band.
Right.
So first of all, what was the band called?
Rock and Roll Heaven.
Hey.
And actually, we named the band after a Righteous Brothers hit. There's a whole story behind that, but the Righteous Brothers had a song called Rock and Roll Heaven,
okay.
and most people don't know this, but we're talking about it. Long before, well, not long, but even before Legend started, I had this idea that I was going to create a group based on the Righteous Brothers song, which is about deceased legends, the iconic legends. It's just that we didn't. We had the band Rock and Roll Heaven. That was my first idea to start it, and we named it Rock and Roll Heaven.
And you were the lead singer.
And we were going to be doing songs just by deceased acts.
Wow,
and that really is the whole basis of what Legends in Concert started on. But we weren't looking like the people. We were just doing
you were
the
just
songs,
doing like doing the songs,
versions.
Right? Okay.
So, and then 3 years later, I met this guy came to see me named John Stewart, and he said, your band's named Rock and Roll Heaven, and he goes, and I'm starting a show called Legends in Concert, but I want you to know something. He goes, I was going to call my show Rock and Roll Heaven, and he goes, and then someone told me there's this band in town called Rock and Roll Heaven, so. And I go, yeah, that's us. And he goes, I know. And he goes, so I changed it to Legends in Concert.
And then he offered you a position?
No, he did not.
Okay, so what happened?
At first, he was talking to us about the possibility. I wasn't doing Neil Diamond. I was singing songs by everybody.
Okay.
But because Elvis and the Beatles and Neil Diamond were my heroes, I did a lot of songs by them.
Okay.
You know, but we did songs by every.
So then, where was the transition from you being just the lead,
Frontman.
the frontman of a band, to suddenly you're at Legends, and you're Neil Diamond, correct?
Right. 15 years. So I had the band for 15 years.
15 years.
And we did well. When we got to do things other bands didn't do. We're in our 20s, so we got to go to we're young, nice looking, funny guy. Guy. I guess the same way you would describe, you know, Paul, John, George, and Ringo.
Yeah.
You know? And we had that kind of sense of humor, and we were crazy guys in our 20s.
Best time of your life.
We got to go to Norway and to London, and travel, which most cover bands in Vegas were not doing, and we grew.
So you must have been pretty successful then.
But we had to climb up that ladder slow, starting in dingy bars, moving up to nicer bars, then going into clubs, then going into lounges, and maybe occasionally getting. If we're lucky, a showroom gig, but we got to play pretty much all the classic lounges from the '80s in Vegas. And okay, so after 15 years, we did relatively well. But after 15 years, and this is true for any cover band, we weren't setting out to be recording artists. You know, we were just happy,
having fun.
And actually getting paid. It never crossed our mind, or at least my mind, to be a original, a recording artist. You know, recording originals and be on the radio. We were just thrilled to be in. You know,
to just being playing the clubs and things.
Right, and doing fairly well. We weren't getting rich, but we didn't have much responsibility because, again, we're kids in our 20s, you know.
So how did the other members of the band feel when whose decision was it to kind of, like, obviously you split up?
To what?
To split up? Have you not heard that expression?
Say it again.
Where you split up.
Oh, split up.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just that accent. Okay. All right. Split up. No.
Yeah.
We didn't really split up.
Okay.
So I have to go back and answer your first question. After 15 years, I felt the band, because I was the leader, to run its course. I mean, jobs were getting harder to find.
Right.
I mean, that's normal for any cover band that's been together a long time.
There's only so much they can do.
Right. And I'm noticing the phone's not ringing as much. It's getting tougher. Not me being the leader, and it was sort of my responsibility. And my bass player too. We were partners to get the gigs. And I noticed that was starting to slow down. And we played Cleopatra's Barge at Caesars. That's a big deal. And but I needed to come up with a plan B. So I was friends. I made friends with a lot of people in the Legends concert show. In fact, they would come in and sit in with my band because we played a lot of their oldies, you know, like 50s, 60s. We started doing 50s, 60s, and 70s. So we would be the band, I guess, if someone Legends in concert, or the Elvis guy or the Bobby Darin guy or what wanted to sit in, we'd probably be the band they would go and jump up on the stage with. So anyway, I for years, here's the answer to your question. For years and years and years, because I did a lot of Neil Diamond with my band, because he was one of my heroes, along with the other two. And for years and years and years, I heard people say, not just from my girlfriends to my wife to my fans, when you do Neil Diamond songs, Rob, when you perform Neil Diamond songs, like, you sound just like him. It's like, you need to audition for Legends, you know.
Right.
So, and I heard that for years, and I was like, I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't want to do that impersonator thing, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
that was never
was
something
comfortable
that
where
you
I
really
was.
thought about, right?
At first.
Did you know that you kind of had that look of Neil Diamond?
No,
Did
the look
you
was something I had to
work on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go back and look at pictures of me
I would
in
love to see
in
some
the
pictures
80s,
before. Yeah.
in the 80s, you wouldn't necessarily go. I don't think you would look at him and say, "Oh, you look like Neil Diamond." So it was something I had to actually learn. I grew into the look. I had to learn how to do the hair. That wasn't easy. You know, yeah, right.
And you had to dye your
I had
hair.
to be taught how to do that. I actually.
What's your real hair color? I mean, what was it?
This is the real hair, my real hair
Oh, so you
color.
were always a brunette.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah, always.
Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to dye your hair like Elvis, who was
Well,
blonde.
no, because I wasn't being Elvis.
No, I know, but the point I'm making is Elvis dyed his hair because he was sandy colour.
He was dirty blonde.
Dirty blonde,
right.
yeah.
So actually, the truth is, I actually at one time did dye my hair like pitch black, like Elvis.
Okay.
You know, so it was darker. What you're seeing now is more my natural color.
Natural colour.
So
Like a soft brown.
correct. That's exactly true.
Yeah.
That's it. You know. So yeah, I had to learn how to do this. But after 15 years, I made the decision. I'm putting this in a nutshell to do something different, and I made the decision to try. I finally took years to listen to all the people tell me you need to go audition, and even
So,
people
and
from
you did? You went and auditioned?
even the people from Legends said you need to audition for the show.
Yeah. And so did he take you straight away?
No, he actually wouldn't even take my audition.
What?
It's the truth, John.
Really?
Johnny Stewart would at first would not give me the time of day, and like, wouldn't even give
Shock.
would not even give me an audition.
Why do you think that was?
I have no idea. You know, maybe I think he might have known me as just being. Again, I didn't really look like have a Neil Diamond look at that time, and he knew me as being the.
Just the front one of that band.
Of that band, so he didn't put the two together.
Right.
And he was quirky. He's a quirky guy.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away several months ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
sad. Okay.
So through the years, we bumped heads a lot of
Yeah.
times, and we can get it there, but we ended on good terms. And he actually, in his own little way, without actually coming right out and saying like
He kind of warmed
I'm sorry,
to you.
like that. He never, I never gave you. John Stewart did not give me my break. Paul Revere from the Raiders gave me my break in the Hawaii show. I went into Legends through the back door.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it wasn't Legends in Vegas. You got an opportunity to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I knew the Elvis, Jonathan Von Brana, who at one time was like the man here. You know, most people will tell you he was the first Elvis in Legends. He really wasn't. But the first one, Dana McKay, lasted he stayed with the show for about 3 weeks, and the Jonathan became
The Elvis.
when Legends was
really at its
huge.
peak.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like a star. So he ended up in the Hawaii show, and I knew him. We were friends, and I sent him a video, and I said, I want to try doing the Neil Diamond thing, and John's not really giving you anything.
an opening for it.
Nothing. Well, he doesn't return my calls, whatever. He said, let me take your
He
video.
just didn't like you.
Maybe not. We didn't really know each
How
other.
could he not like you,
But we
Rob?
really didn't know
You're
each
such
other.
a likable person.
We didn't know each other that well.
Well,
we met a
but
few times.
sometimes you can, you can. Maybe he just, thought no. I'm not going to. He'd seen you as you were in your band.
First of all, he had a
thought-
Neil Diamond. All right, like.
Oh, he already had a Neil
Yeah, I'm
Diamond?
sorry.
You missed that bit out.
He
So
had
had
his
a-
Neil Diamond, and he
Okay.
probably thought,
So
I've
he
got my
didn't
Neil
need to go
Diamond.
on,
I don't
yeah.
need to look, any further. I'm happy with my Neil Diamond.
Okay.
You
Who
know.
was that?
It was Jay Wyatt. Yeah, it was Jay Wyatt. And again, I'm speculating stuff here, and I never asked.
me too.
I never asked Johnny like, why didn't you ever like? Did you not like me? Or what's the? It didn't matter. I auditioned for Paul Revere, who was part owner of the Hawaii show, and Paul gave I'm making a really long story short, even though it sounds long already.
Yeah, but we want to get to the
But
nitty-gritty.
Paul auditioned me
Paul-
one-on-one, came to Vegas, took a while,
Yeah.
and offered me 3 months in Hawaii. 3 months turned into 6 months, 6 months turned into a year turned into 3 years.
Gosh, so you were in Hawaii for 3 years. Legends.
Working 6 and sometimes 7 days a week.
Amazing. So that was your huge break.
That was a huge break. I have no career without Paul Revere.
Oh, so you have a lot to thank him for then.
A lot. He's gone, but
He's gone
but
too.
he knew.
Okay.
Yeah, and every time he'd come to town, I'd make sure I'd call him. Could I come to your show? And he'd say, sure.
So, okay, so then you did that for years, okay, and then so what happened then after Legends? You came back to Vegas?
I came back to Vegas.
What made you come back to Vegas?
Well, two things. One is I had a little daughter who I missed very much, and she missed her daddy, and secondly is we played chicken with each other. I tried to get more money out of them because I felt I was deserving a raise, and I knew what the others were making, and they were not mean, or they were just like, "We're sorry, Rob, but right now, we can't afford.
We're on
to
a
give
budget, sort of
yeah,
thing.
we can't. We love you. We can't afford to give you a raise." And I was like, sticking. Well, I'm going to leave. I'll leave. And they go,
You better give me a raise, or I'm out of here.
Well, I mean, I don't say. I don't want to say. I don't want to say I was that direct, but I said,
I know my worth.
I'm gonna go home. And they go, well, we'd hate to lose you, but we can't give you
Bye-bye.
And so we kind of held tight to each other, to what our, took our stance and held to it, and I left. And I remember
That must have been scary, though, when you've had that security for,
it was.
so
And
long.
I remember even on one of my last nights, like they had a party for me and everything was good, and the manager came up to me, Marvin, hi Marvin, and he said sat down with me and Mary, it was Mary that said to me, and she said, "Do you really want to leave? Because we really don't want you to leave." And I said, I made my mind up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you should have said was, "Show me the money."
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but I didn't say that to them. But that's,
No.
I mean, basically, I'd already, in so many words, said that to them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like one, and
But in hindsight, that was probably the best thing that you did.
in hindsight, it wasn't so much at the moment, because I thought
the
I'm going to come
moment.
back here and take, after doing three years in Neil Diamond, 6 and 7 days a week, that's it, I'm coming back, and I'm going to just knock it out of the park. It wasn't like that. And John gave me intermittent work,
Okay. This is the guy from
This
Legends.
is John Stewart, the producer.
Okay.
So, but not, I noticed a lot of the Legends people, I watched them, and they'd sit by their phones at his beck and call and wait for him to call and give them jobs, and otherwise,
They weren't working.
right, or they'd have to struggle for work.
Yeah.
And I just told myself I'm not going to do that.
No.
So I
Good
came
for
back
you.
after 3 years. I want to say for 2 more years, I worked on and off with them, and then I just pretty much said, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to sit by my phone waiting for them. So I started my own company, my own booking company, which he really was PO'd about.
Yeah, I bet.
he was. I remember that.
I bet.
Yeah, he was
So
not. He
it's-
was not happy about that. And
No, he wasn't a happy
So
camper.
I started booking not just some Legends, but in tribute acts all over the place. And of course, I was working myself as Neil Diamond.
Yeah, so you had them on your books and you would just send them out to different events.
For a long time.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that actually.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
I put lots of tribute artists on planes and sent them to parts of the country, because when they were,
Fantastic.
and Legends people too. But again, after I left, and I knew once I started that company, he would have nothing to do with me. And I already knew that once I did that,
Right.
that would be the end of my relationship with Jon Stewart. And of course
Yeah.
it was. But and we didn't like
And I
each,
bet the
and we
air
didn't
was
like each
blue,
other for a
wasn't
long
it?
time.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, you get
Wow.
older and
Yeah, and
you
you've just
come
got to,
around,
it's
you know,
business.
and-
What is it? They say it's not personal, it's business.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Rob, tell me how. So after that, you'd done all the business and what have you, and sending bookings everywhere, and you were really successful at that. What happened with the Neil Diamond? So your act, you got a venue, Alexis Park. Was that the next thing, or was there anything before then?
Well, there were lots of things before then,
Okay.
but Alexis Park has been my residency for the last over 3 years.
Okay.
But going between then
The booking,
in the middle,
your own business.
I was all
yeah.
over the place,
Well, what were you doing when you say you were all over the place?
like traveling the country.
As Neil Diamond.
Yeah, once I started doing Neil Diamond, that was it. Like I never looked back.
Right, so you were
Even-
getting booked left, right, and centre.
Yes, yeah, not at first. Not at first. They were trickling in, you know. And again, when I came back to Vegas after Hawaii, it was almost like starting all over again.
Okay.
You know, like I had to climb that ladder.
Ladder again.
Climb that
okay.
ladder, climb that ladder.
You know, and I'm going off subject here, but I just wanted to ask you. We were having a conversation about Elvis and Neil Diamond, and you told me that Neil Diamond was the first act where you had to purchase tickets to
Yeah.
go and see his show.
I'm glad you brought that
Is that
up.
correct?
Yeah.
Because I always thought with Elvis it was all a case of buying tickets and what have you, and you book way in advance. But then you educated me, and that wasn't the case, which was a huge surprise. So if you could just tell us about that, because this
Yeah.
blew me away, actually.
Good, because that'll also kind of lead into my first time seeing Neil Diamond, which also leads into the fact that we're about to celebrate the country's 250th birthday. These are all going to tie in together.
Big event.
This,
So
July 4th coming up.
So the reason why, so
here's the
correct
thing.
me if I'm wrong, Neil Diamond refused to play Vegas, right?
Yes. For years and years and years, Vegas tried to get Neil Diamond. And
Now, why did he not want to play Vegas?
Exactly, according to him. Now, at that point, Neil Diamond did not come to Vegas to 76. The July of 76, which was our bicentennial, okay? And it was a big deal. And you have to trust me when I say this, because one of us, we'll get to that, but his opening was every bit as historic as Elvis's opening in 69. And I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, the deal, and those watching that have lived in Las Vegas know that what I'm saying is absolutely the truth. If you wanted to go see Elvis or Sinatra or the Rat Pack, or any of those
Sammy Davis Jr.
classic,
whatever.
or
Dean
Tony
Martin.
Bennett or Johnny Carson or Anne Margaret or Bill Cosby or whoever they were, Jerry Lewis, there were no tickets. All right. See, this is way before your Vegas days.
Right.
So you would go make your reservations no different than if you wanted to go to a restaurant tomorrow. Like tomorrow, you go to a restaurant. Now, there's no internet, so you're not obviously going online and making a reservation. But I know you were around before the internet. Okay. So, but there's no internet, and you wanted to go to a restaurant. What would you do?
Well, I would call them up
Right.
and say, "Can I make a booking?"
Right. Same thing.
Right.
And
Wow.
and they didn't ask you for a credit card, right? No, over the phone.
Sometimes they like a deposit, but no, more often than not, they don't.
When did you ever put a deposit? When did you ever call up a restaurant and they asked you for a deposit? Like going out to eat.
I think it happened in England.
It doesn't happen. She's making that up as we go along.
Anyway, I bet you there are places where they say, oh, you know what? They take your credit card. Because if you cancel, there's a cancellation fee.
Right, that came later. Okay, so that came later.
Okay.
But we're talking the 70s now.
Right.
So you would, same exact thing. You'd call up the Hilton or the Sands.
Yeah.
And you would say, I'm Shelly Powers. It was this easy. Really, it was. Elvis.
Gosh.
You'd get on the phone and say, I'd like to make reservations for Elvis's show.
Every night, please.
You could do that.
Wow.
I mean, you might have to call up every night, day, and do it. I don't know. I don't remember if you could. No, you could do it in advance. I want to see Elvis's show next Wednesday. Sure. What's your name? Rob Garrett. All right, Mr. Garrett. How many in the party? 2. Got you down.
That's it.
No credit card. No nothing. That was normal.
Okay.
That was normal.
So then when Neil Diamond agreed to come to Vegas to play for the first time, there wasn't an arena big enough? Is that correct?
There wasn't an arena on the Strip, period.
Right.
We had the convention center, which was slightly off the Strip. But now you see arenas all over the Strip, T-Mobile, Allegiant, PH Live. But the Strip did not have an arena, which is going to, again, take me back to your original question. Neil Diamond refused. Neil did not want to play a showroom. They're offering him more money than Sinatra, than Elvis. He did not want to play a showroom. And his reasoning was, first of all, he was already a concert act at that point, in the mid-'70s. From 72 on, he became an arena act. So he did not want to play. His words were, I didn't want to play places where, while I'm singing, they're serving food and drinks to people, because to me it's distracting. Like it's distracting the show. Hearing the clank.
I get that.
Yeah, of course, hearing the clanking of plates. And that's exactly what would be happening if you were sitting in the Hilton showroom watching Elvis. So people would be eating.
How could they eat during a
drinking.
show?
Well, I mean, between bites or whatever, you did, okay? And it was also traditional for everyone, not just Elvis, that there was a dinner show that started at 8, although dinner was at 6. So you got there, and then there was a cocktail show at midnight, and that was normal not for everybody.
So Neil Diamond didn't want that. He wanted everyone to be just totally focused. And rightly so, on him.
And plus, he worked bigger places. The Hilton was our biggest showroom in the 70s when the Hilton opened. It held about 1,500 for dinner and 2,000 for the cocktail.
So they built the Aladdin. Is that correct?
No, the Aladdin was built already.
So what did they do for Neil Diamond?
The Aladdin was there a long time.
They built a show. They built a arena inside the Aladdin.
Yeah. The Aladdin in 76 was renovating their whole place, building towers. They were renovating the hotel.
So they did that for Neil Diamond.
They built a state-of-the-art Vegas's first state-of-the-art arena on the Strip. Wow. Right, called the Aladdin Theater for the Performing Arts, right? Held 7,500 people, right? Gosh. There was no room on the Strip that held. That's more than 3 times the size of Elvis's room, all right?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, again, Elvis, the Hilton room maxed out at 2,000, and that was our biggest showroom for years. Showroom, right?
So Neil Diamond was the first person to perform in this arena.
They built that arena with only him in mind. And they said, like, we're building this arena, like first arena in Vegas, state-of-the-art, brand new. We're going to offer you like more money than anyone has ever gotten here. Now will you take the job? And obviously he said yes. I wasn't present, but he did. He opened that arena July 2nd during the bicentennial. July 2nd, and originally it was slated for July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And did you get to see any of those shows?
Well, yeah, I'm getting to that. July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and I tell my mom, like, Mom, we got to go see Neil Diamond. Yeah, my mom was a fan too. Now, she already saw Elvis with me several times, in Vegas. So I thought, I want to see Neil Diamond, and so July 2nd, 3rd, 4th sold out like that, like bam. And so Neil was the first act to ever sell tickets for a show on the Strip. There weren't. I told you how they did it. There were physical tickets. Right. There were only two ways of buying tickets to Neil Diamond's show. One is you can go down to Aladdin and you can go to the box office and stand in line. And secondly, they allowed you to. The tickets were $20 and $30. Believe it or not, that was expensive at the time in '76. That was an expensive show. Everybody else was less. And like Sinatra, Elvis, you paid about $25, and you got dinner for that.
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So yeah. So and you got dinner, but Neil was $20 and $30, no dinner, and it was tickets. So you either had to go to the Aladdin and go to the box office and wait in line and buy your tickets there, or you can write a check. And send it, write a check and send it to the Aladdin and write which tier of tickets you wanted and cross your fingers. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th sold out too quick before we can even flinch. And then they added the 5th, July 5th, and that sold out quick too. And then they added the 6th, the last night we made that one.
Gosh. Wow, so you got to the last show.
Last show.
And then that was it. You were just, I mean, you loved, by this time you loved Neil Diamond.
Already. That's why I wanted to see him so bad.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So then what does the future look like for you? Because, I mean, there's so many things, so many events that have happened, things that you should be really proud of, like Mayor Goodman, for example.
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, so and when you tell me this, I thought you were pulling my leg. But there is a Rob Garrett Day.
There is.
A Rob Garrett Day for eternity.
It stays on the book.
May 19th.
Yeah, it stays on the books long after I'm gone.
So every May 19th is Rob Garrett Day.
It is on the books. I mean, they don't announce it on TV.
No.
but yes, forever. And I'm pretty sure, even though I didn't look, I'm sure I'm sharing May 19th with other people. But yeah, the answer is yes.
Wow, that is something. That's really special. So now, why did they do that? I mean, you're fantastic. You're brilliant. And
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 years ago, and my agent, it was my 50th anniversary of living in Vegas, and I've been performing for 46 of them. So my agent called Mayor Goodman, who was the mayor at the time, and she knew me. I mean, I'm not saying like we're buddies, but we knew each other. And
had she seen any of your shows?
She knew me, and she knew, Neil Diamond. I never asked her if she saw any of my shows, so I probably should have. But here's the thing: she was absolutely, having him come in and 50 years. I mean,
that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. He grew up here for all intents and purposes into adulthood. And started his career here, and he's been going 46 years. That's kind of.
It is
unique,
a big deal.
So
it is.
So she had no problem.
And that's how you got this May 19th.
Yes.
What is it? A proclamation that every May 19th is Rob Garrett Day. Next May 19th.
I'll be gone, and my daughter will be going on May 19th. This is my dad's day.
Oh, that is so sweet. Yeah. Next May 19th, I'm going to celebrate that.
I don't even celebrate it.
I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to have a little badge saying Rob Garrett Day.
I only celebrated the first one,
Okay, so there's a big anniversary coming up now, isn't there? American Independence Day. It's the 250th year of independence.
Right.
Okay. What are you doing for that? Are you going to do anything special? It's just around the corner, isn't it?
I mean, it's special for me because, again, I already said it, but it marks the first time I saw Neil.
Yeah.
That was the first of 17 times. So,
Wow.
and again, you weren't here, but if you did, if you went out and checked the books, you'd see that was for Vegas. That was a huge, big deal. It's bicentennial. Neil Diamond's the new arena, first arena on the Strip. Neil Diamond first time. So that really was historic.
Yeah.
And we didn't have anything like that place. And as far as what I'm going to do, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. And yeah, we'll open with America instead of closing. We'll open and close with America.
Fantastic. And I'm working too.
Yeah, but now I have a residency, which we'll talk about. And I have a residency, so Saturday, and I'll probably tell the audience like it was 50 years ago that I saw Neil Diamond for my first time, and I would go on to see him another 16 times after.
Gosh.
He didn't come back to Vegas 20 years after he did it.
Oh my goodness, really?
That's a long story, but Neil didn't really like Vegas that much. It took him 20.
It's not everybody's cup of tea, though, is it?
Because look, a lot of performers don't like Vegas because on the Strip they'll give tickets away to high rollers. Understandably, people that are spending tons of money,
gambling,
and those you can't guarantee. Those people are fans of the person they're going to.
Right.
Like here's 2 tickets to see Elvis.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just spend $10,000, $20,000. Take you and your wife to see Elvis. That doesn't mean they're hardcore fans, right? So, or go see Neil Diamond, or go see Frank Sinatra, or go see Johnny Carson, go see Wayne Newton. Doesn't mean Engelbert, Tom, whatever. Doesn't mean they're Cher. Doesn't mean they're all. Like,
so I can
and they give them
understand that.
And they give
why
them the seats up in the front too, because they spent a ton of money, right?
That's not very fair.
The performer
is it?
wants. That's another. That was another pet peeve with Neil Diamond too.
I can see why that would
he didn't like
annoy somebody.
casinos dictating to him who gets to sit up front.
Yeah.
So.
It's all about the money, isn't it? And how much
No,
you
he wanted his fans up front.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the casinos. With them, it's all about the money. Yeah, absolutely. No, not with Neil Diamond.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, so you have a residency, and you've had that for how long?
Over 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So and you've just moved to a bigger showroom, correct?
In the same building.
And where is that?
Alexis Park. It's like on Harmon. Most people on Harmon, about a mile and a half, 2 miles off the Strip, east of the Strip, right across the street from Virgin, which used to be the Hard Rock.
Right.
That's the best way I could describe it.
And I've been to the show, and it is fantastic.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely
We're
brilliant.
just having a ball there.
Yeah.
And our producer, Pete Housley, has taken very good care of us, and he's a great boss, and so we love it there. So and it's my show has turned into a mini. Well, you saw it into a mini. Now you haven't seen it's in the new room.
No, I've not seen the new show, but what I saw was.
And it's kind of like a mini production with big video screens and stories.
And I love that you've got Neil Diamond himself. Well, not physically, but he's there on the screen.
It would be great to have him physically, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen now.
Have you ever spoken to Neil Diamond? I mean, like,
no,
you never had a conversation with him?
No, I have not.
Like, he's never said to you, like, hey, I love what you're doing, Rob. Thanks. You do a great job. Nothing like that?
No, not direct.
I bet he thinks it, though.
Well, that much I do know. Okay, because I for a few years, one of my backup singers happened to be the daughter of a guy you named Ron Tutt. You know who that is?
Ronnie Tutt?
Yeah.
Of course I know Ronnie Tutt.
Right.
Yeah.
So his daughter was kind of intermittently worked with me. Okay. So I got to meet him a whole bunch of times.
Because Ronnie Tutt drummed for...
Elvis.
Yeah, of course he drummed for Elvis. Didn't he drum for Neil Diamond?
A lot longer than he drummed for Elvis.
Yeah.
Like he drummed for Elvis
Okay.
for he was Elvis's drummer for
Oh, he was brilliant.
8 years.
Yeah.
He was Neil Diamond's drummer for about 36 years.
Good grief.
Yeah. So up until Neil retired, you know, a forced retirement. And people ask, that's the most popular question I get asked at my meet and greets. Is if I ever met Neil Diamond. And it's partially my fault because Ron's taken me backstage and I've got to hang out with the band and he's told Neil, you know, and I have a picture from Neil and my attitude was like, I want to meet him, but I'm not, I was
You didn't want to be pushy.
Right, exactly.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I didn't want to push that, and that's how I didn't want to push that envelope. I was almost like, you know, what
And you were a little bit shy, maybe?
Yeah, and yes, and I also thought, like, what happens if he does, again, all kinds of things are going through my mind. Neil Diamond's known for being a very nice man. But I said, what happens if he doesn't, like, act snotty to me or snarky? You know, then it would break my heart. You know, right?
Because you love him so much. And the thing is, you are so modest. I mean, when you're on stage, you're electric, and you are Neil Diamond. You're brilliant.
Only when I'm performing the songs.
But then when you're off stage, you're actually quite a shy character, really. Aren't you?
I've always been,
yeah. I know.
Yeah.
And that's
that's
very endearing, you know.
I don't open up until I know people really well.
Yeah, I know. And I've known you for a long time, and you're only just opening up to me.
You think I'm only just opening up to you?
Well, I mean, you've opened up to me a bit, but you open up more.
Right.
It takes a bit of time. You've always been a little bit shy.
You disappeared.
I did disappear.
I've always been
I
shy.
left. I went back to England.
I've always been shy around people I don't know that well, and but I'm not anyone that, like, at my meet and greets that talks to me.
But on stage, you come alive.
And you know what? You just described most performers. You definitely just described Neil Diamond.
So the man has been retired for 8 years, and you're at the helm of carrying on that legacy. So how long do you see yourself doing this for, Rob?
I'll answer that question probably the same way he would have answered it if you would have asked him before his Parkinson's diagnosis. He would have said the same thing. He would have said, as long, hey, I'm going to keep doing this as long as people show up, you know, and want to come to my shows and want to see me.
What does the future hold for you, do you think? What are your plans? You're going to stay?
My plans are to keep working and try to carry on that legacy for as long as I can. And when they stop coming, or the phone stops ringing, then I know it's time to quit, and then it's retirement time.
Right.
But
and then what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, because I'm not thinking about it.
Travel.
I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, like, have for lunch tomorrow.
Well, long may you reign.
And oh my gosh, thank you.
You know, Rob, I have to say that it's an absolute pleasure talking to you here. I mean, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. But talking to you,
so it's
we
easy.
are.
It's
but
easy
just
to talk
for
to you.
people to be able to listen to this and, you know, find out the real you, what makes you tick, and how great you are.
What makes me tick?
What does make you tick?
Well, what makes me tick?
Neil Diamond, of course.
Well,
and just making people happy, performing.
Thank you.
Performing, making people happy. That's, you know, the thing is, I have to add this. You do sacrifice quite a lot.
I do.
To do this.
Yeah.
You make so many sacrifices.
Even in my band. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about relationships and things like that. I've definitely, I put those things, those always.
Everything's on hold.
Even I was married one time. That even took a back.
And that's why you're still single.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
because
everything else took, everything else was put on the back burner.
Yeah.
The only thing
he doesn't have time today.
The only thing that isn't is my child.
Yeah, of course.
That's it. She's the only thing that holds precedence. But even when.
But the other things you've had to sacrifice. We're talking about your kitchen cupboards now. You don't have peanut butter. You don't have any sugar. Because this is why you look so good.
Okay.
This is not true.
But I think that's true for a lot of people in the spotlight, right? She's saying that I take care of myself. All right?
Well, you do.
That's what she's saying. Or I looked after to make sure I sacrifice. Maybe not peanut butter, but I make sacrifices with food, and I'm just careful. That's all. But I treat myself sometimes.
You have ice cream?
I can't even tell you the last time I've had ice cream.
You see, that's it.
Do I want it? Yeah, of course I want it. But
that's a sacrifice. I couldn't give up peanut butter.
But you're not in my business.
Well, that's true. Right. That is true. But
you
anyway,
don't have to.
No, I don't. Well,
you don't have,
a big
thousands
bum.
of dollars worth of costumes you want to fit in that you want to fit into, right? So
no.
So if you were in this business, you'd probably act the same way.
Maybe I would. Maybe I would.
Because not everybody does.
Well, Rob, it has been so lovely talking to you.
Lovely.
It's so lovely. And I just, everybody, if you haven't seen Rob's show, you have to go take it in, because he is the nearest thing you're going to get to the great man himself.
Oh, thank you.
And that is the truth.
I don't think, just so you know, I don't think anyone can take that man's place.
No.
Right.
Absolutely not. Like nobody can take Elvis's place.
Nobody else would take his place.
Rob, for this time that I've had with you, and you can buy me a drink. Maybe we'll go and get some food.
If I do, it's not going to be the first time doing either, is it?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you. And, everybody, if you've really enjoyed this interview, well, it's not even an interview, it's like a chat, isn't it?
It's a chat.
It is a chat.
Yeah.
It's a lovely chat. Make sure that you go and hit the like button and subscribe and go check out everything. Go see Rob's show, because
Lexus Park.
Yes, give it another. When is
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Come on down. Say hello to me on Facebook. I'm there, but I'm not participating as much as I used to, because my schedule's just been nuts.
Crazy.
I've never had this kind of schedule in my life. Mm-hmm. It's good, but it also, as it's up and down.
He's like a vampire. He sleeps during the day.
And I'm nocturnal.
And so this is why it's so late now that we're doing this. But I don't mind, because I love you. You're a good friend.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. Okay,
right.
So thank you very much for tuning into this. And again, thanks to Rob, and check out his show, because you're not going to regret it. He's something else.
Thank you.
Very special. Thanks, Rob.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.